Hi, this is Jonathan, and you're listening to Can We Just Talk on Life Radio UK. So our topic today is going to be more money, more problems.
In our relationships, who is responsible for the money? Who is more financially literate? What do you think?
Me and mine. That would be
You.
me, Marcus. Yes, that's me.
Okay, yeah, you're right, yeah.
I think Jonathan's
used to
more
be me.
sensible. You still are. Why do you doubt yourself?
So yeah, I think I'm more sensible with money, but who is being responsible for money and stuff?
Yeah, me.
Yeah. Whereas like before, it used to be me, and then I think it kind of changes with like whoever's earning. You start to look at things more, so you end up being the one that looks at stuff. Because I feel like I've been looking at it more so now recently than before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess
who controls the spreadsheets? So in our relationship with me and Dion, I'm the one that will draw up the spreadsheet,
can't
have
deal with
everything
the
listed on
spreadsheet.
there, have the income, the expenditure, how much is left over, how much we're both bringing in, and then what will be left over afterwards.
I'm here for it, you know. I'm here for the whole. It's important to know what's coming in and what's coming out. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I just can't be looking at the spreadsheet. I just can't look at it.
Why?
I don't know. I feel really stressed when I see it. When I see it all laid out like this, I think, okay, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming.
It's intense.
Yeah.
And I'd just rather him say to me, this is what you need to contribute. And then I'll go, bing, there you go, send it to you. Like,
Yeah.
I'd much rather that, where I know the importance of it, don't get me wrong.
He just
I'm not
wants
playing
to
it
give
down.
you the visibility.
Yeah,
of
he
what's
wants to give
happening.
me, which I think is important, and I know why he's saying it, because he's like, if anything's to happen, which he always says, if anything's to happen to me, Dion, you need to know what's going on. I don't want nothing to happen to you.
Good to know, man. It's future proofing. Even down to life insurances and all these things that people take out. It's good to know, because when you get into the, God forbid, when there's deaths in the family and your grandparents and all that sort of thing, they went on top of any stuff like that. What I've found, and then it's the whole power of attorney, and the money's trapped here, can't be touched, and they've been paying into these life insurances that gives them £5 at the end, and they've been paying religiously for the last 60 years, and it's all these different things that they don't really know about. I just think it's important that we understand our finances.
It's good to have the spreadsheet. We used to be hard on the spreadsheets, and then we kind of just like fell by the wayside. I think once we put everything into one account, we kind of just let it all.
Don't
Yeah,
get me
because
wrong, I'm
we
the
didn't
same.
need to-
Like I
we
don't
didn't need
focus
to.
on it
Yeah.
the same as I used to, but I know it's there if I need to go back. Yeah.
I think it's when things change, though. When something changes, so say for example, you've decided you're going to get
agree.
another car,
I
or you're
agree.
gonna change your car, or some finance is now going to change. Then you pull out the spreadsheet. You don't sit on the spreadsheet constantly
Damn.
like, right, you
You'd be
spent
really surprised.
which I don't do.
£65.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I've got a friend that I used to work with that if she bought a Mars bar at lunchtime, she would add it on the spreadsheet.
Oh
I
no,
kid you
see,
not.
no, too far.
The spreadsheet.
Too far.
She sent me the spreadsheet. It was a very impressive spreadsheet. I
No.
appreciate a good bit of Excel.
No, not
Now
having
this spreadsheet, she would put her Mars bar and like literally any spend. She would put it on that spreadsheet to see what it would do to her for her finances in 5 years' time. I kid you not.
Nah.
There are some people out there like that.
Nah. Too far, I'm sorry.
A Mars bar,
Mars bar,
for
not even
5
joking.
years
She went
time.
and spent 70 pence on a Mars bar, came back and opened the spreadsheet up before she opened the Mars bar.
No.
I was shocked.
Before she opened the Mars.
No.
Wow.
There's some people say, Dion, you haven't got it that bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
You haven't.
No, I think Marcus does it sensibly. I can get down with the way how he does it. Don't get me wrong. And I'm saying it's normally would be a time where there's some kind of change in finance or something like that, and then he'll be like, right, okay, well now let's change the spreadsheet, and then once that's been done, unless we know something else is going to change again, you're not going to pull it out again because you know it is what it is.
Same.
Yeah, the figure's the figure.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Mars bar too far. Sorry.
So what do you think about personal accounts? So everyone's clear when we're talking about personal accounts in a relationship, or we're talking about marriage relationships because that's what we're in. So there is my account and Dion's account, and then there's a joint account. So what's your guys' view on that?
Same.
Same.
Absolutely.
I just can't see an issue with it unless there's a personal account that the spouse doesn't know about.
Okay.
I think that's a problem,
Secret accounts.
and that happens. Yeah, for us, we get paid into our personal accounts. We move money into our joint account, and it's not like we don't know what the other person's earning anyway. Like, I don't know, we just don't have, and like there's times where I'll say, like, I'll use the joint card because maybe I've left my card, and I'll say to Jonathan, "Oh, I need to put it back," and he's like, "It's the same money, like it's not that deep."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
don't worry about it. It's within the household. You'll spend that money on something for the house anyway in a week's time, so just don't worry about it. So I don't know, that's just us though. That's how we don't have that separation as such.
Well, there are people who do it the other way. And, like, say, for example, you know how you spoke about your friend with the Mars bar? Like, who's very, very particular about...
I'm sure she has some interesting systems.
I'm sure she does have an interesting system. But there are others who put everything into the one pot. So everything goes into the one pot. And then, you know, you can... They
themselves
would
allowances.
watch
Take out,
and give allowances and say, well, you know, this is what you can use. But it's all still in the one pot. Because then you don't have the... From their point of view, you don't have the well, this is my money and this is your money and this is our money. And even though we don't do it, like, even though that's our experiences and we have our own accounts, etc., that's not our view on how we do things.
No.
But, you know, I suppose it hinders anyone from even getting it to that point where they'll be like, well, it's in your account, so, you know, clearly you didn't want me to know about the money that you've got.
Do you guys work out how much each person should contribute based on your salaries? Or is it just 50-50?
I think early days when we first got married, we did it as a 50-50. And then if Dion was earning more and I had a bit less, then she might top up.
Just to compensate.
Yeah. And then when it swapped, I would top up.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just got to a point where it didn't really matter.
Because generally we just split it, you know, as you would. You just say, okay, well, you pay half and I pay half.
Yeah.
But like Marcus has just mentioned, you know, that changed based on jobs, etc. But even still, we still tried to make it work so that no one kind of felt inferior.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just, well, yeah, you're making all the money and I'm just gonna put a little offering. Just gonna drop a little offering.
Here's my change.
Yeah. For 2 coins.
Yes.
Say for instance, Dion has £20 left after she puts in the shared bills, and I've got, you know, £500. It's like, well,
Start there with your 25.
yeah. It's like, well, that makes no sense. I'd rather you have something in your account to actually use, and I'll just put a bit more in the joint. Like, it kind of makes no sense to not do that. In our experience. What about you guys?
I think that we're very much the same, and I think the reason is as well, and like I mentioned earlier with like Jonathan's thought process behind it, most of your spends are for things that benefit the both of you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, in like, you know, we're 9 years married, like our spends are not me going off on holiday on a girly holiday with D, like for 2 weeks and just living life. Like, that's not what we're doing. It's going to be food shopping, it's going to be something for the children, shoes, clothes, you know, I don't know, we might decide to get a takeout for us. Like, so
It's for you both, isn't
it's
it?
for you both anyway. Your spends are for you both.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I think from that point of view, that's why it's never really, the other person would never sit there with money in their account thinking, oh well, I've given my contribution and this is what I've got left and this is mine, knowing that the other person doesn't have. Jonathan from very early has always been, you know, if I have just £5, you can have it, or you can have £2.50. Do you know what I mean? He's always been like that.
Jonathan.
So I think for that reason, because I was very selfish. I was an only child up until I was 15, and
Wow,
Listen.
you said it, you know.
No, I
You said
know. I don't pretend about it. I know, because just little things early on, like sharing a packet of crisps to me was a problem, because I feel like just buy your own. This is my packet of crisps. Why are you
The girl
asking?
said, buy your own.
Why are you asking for mine? I don't
true.
understand.
She was. She's
That's
really
how I was.
selfish.
I was terrible, and I know it. But you learn and you grow, and I think I started to see his generosity and see how like willing he was to just be like just to share and just be so equal and so like I don't know what the word is, but he was just very much like, if I have, you have too. And I thought, oh, all right then. But you know when something
Yeah, but
just
that
pulls
comes
you.
from him having two sisters.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. But that's what I think. I think it is things like that. But seeing that in someone else and the willingness for them to be that way with you makes it. It can either make.
Make
It
you
can make or
change,
break.
yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it changed. It changed for the positive. So I was like, okay, it's different, but it's different in a positive way. And I was like, right, okay. So I started to learn and I got better, and I'd like to think I'm okay now.
So this is Can We Just Talk? You're listening here with Marcus, Dion, Cherie and Jonathan.
You're with the Can We Just Talk team on Life Radio UK. My name's Jonathan, and today we're talking about more money, more problems. Is it important for your partner to know your earnings?
Is it? What do you think?
Yes.
I think it is.
I think it is. Why
You have
wouldn't
to.
they?
You have to.
There shouldn't be anything to hide.
Nah. It goes back to everything we're talking about in the sense of having that shared. The way we do is we have that shared account, and we know who's putting in more, who's putting in less, who needs to put in more, or who needs extra spending money or whatever. Not so. Yeah, you kind of have to know.
Yeah.
But it's important to know.
Unless they're being selfish like Cherie used to be. I don't understand why.
I know of someone who doesn't think it's important because they've never discussed finances with anyone before. So coming into a relationship a little bit older, the attitude's very much like, well, I don't talk about finances.
Is this before marriage or after?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
Yeah, I think that's different now.
it's like, oh well, I don't talk about finances, so they're not willing to share with their fiance like their earnings, which to me I just think is wild. Because if you were say you two were at the age you are now, and you've come together, you're about to get married, but Dion isn't willing to tell you how much she earns. Say she already has her house, so she already lives in this house, and you're going to move in.
Yeah.
And she's not willing to tell you how much she earns, how much the mortgage is, how much the utilities cost.
Is that because she's scared that I might ask her to pay for part of the wedding?
I don't know. She's just never had to disclose that information before, so she's not sure why she should start doing it now.
I think she needs to start doing it now.
So
Like I do.
Yeah.
Because I understand it. If you're just seeing someone, so you're not at that stage yet
Yeah,
where
just in a relationship.
you're just in a relationship, you know.
Yeah, don't need to know
Then
your
you
business.
don't need to know. Why should I tell everybody my business? Like, no, because it may not work out with me and you. And then you know what, Dion? Listen, and look at Dion, and you've got ammunition to chat me. No, like no.
Is she paying her tithes?
Well, this is it, and so that everybody,
sugar mummy.
everybody knows what's going on. But then I think when you're at a stage where you're deciding that you're going to take it further, so
Yeah.
if you're now at the fiance stage, you're engaged.
You've got a ring on your finger
You've
now.
got a ring on your finger. You are walking into marriage now. You're preparing, and this is why pre-marriage counselling is so important, because them are the things you need to talk about. You know, share those things. So then you know, okay, well, let's have a plan in place. Let's say, well, I bring this much to the table currently. You bring this much to the table currently. So then let's plan it out now, so that we know what we're going to do together. You know. I think now she's got a ring on her finger would be a good time to start sharing. Yeah.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah.
Well, that's just led me to an interesting question based on what Dion just said. Does she know how much he's earning?
Yeah.
Nah, then she needs to behave
Wow.
herself. She needs to behave and she needs to just talk because why should she know? Why should she know what he's earning and he doesn't know what she is?
But what if she didn't ask for that information? It was just volunteered.
She's getting married to the person. So if she's getting married to the person, then I'm sorry, but you're going in with 2 feet.
Yeah, you need to
Two
understand
footed
each other's
challenge.
finances now.
Because I was gonna, if there was a different answer to that question, I was gonna say, so how does she know that he can support her?
Maybe she doesn't need supporting.
Maybe she doesn't.
Maybe.
Maybe
but
at this
is she
age.
happy then that he has no money and
She's
is
gonna
she
cover
gonna get married to
everything.
him?
And she has to cover everything.
Well, I feel like this is going to sound really vindictive, but if you're not willing to disclose, crack on and keep paying for everything then.
That's what I'm saying. Let her keep paying if that's
Just
what she
keep
wants
paying.
to do. And I'll
If
keep
you
my
like,
money.
I think if it was me and you didn't want to share that information with me because you never had to disclose it before, then I suggest you just keep paying. But I'm still moving in, obviously. But I think you should just keep paying them.
Yeah. I'll buy the snacks.
That's such an interesting situation.
I think because it's just so far removed from what we would do, it almost doesn't seem real that somebody could be like that. But if you think about it, obviously we have done a lot of growing together within our relationships. So, we've been to university around the same time. We've got, we've been through having part-time jobs. Then we've gone to the next stage where you have your first full-time job. Then it's, going through promotions. And with me and Jonathan, we tell each other, and it's any little pay rise, bonus, anything. I'm like, oh, look, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very transparent. So I think because we're like that, to hear that somebody wouldn't just share that information to me is a bit strange. But then I think, would it be different if I was 33 going on 34 now, only just getting into a serious relationship with Jonathan, already living in my own house, having my own financial situation where I know what comes in, what goes out, and I'm doing it on my own and I'm totally in control, to suddenly have to offer that information to someone and share, would it be different?
But how do you plan for anything?
Well, I don't know.
That's what's kind of going through my head. How do you plan for anything? Oh, we're going on holiday next year. Okay, well, I'm only bringing in maybe £500 a month, so it's gonna take us 2 years before we can go away.
You wouldn't know.
So yeah, like
I think whoever's doing that and is not and is not disclosing, they must be in a really strong financial position. So maybe it's just come to that point where the other person in the relationship would like to go on holiday and they're trying to gather their little 2 pennies, 3 pennies here and there. And this one who's not disclosing is just saying, you know what, I got it covered. We don't know.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That whole planning situation. Did you say it was he or she?
It's a she.
So she must, in that planning conversation, just be like, well, yeah, we can go.
Yeah.
But I think that must be what happens.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
It
it's
must
like,
be a
oh, well,
case
we want to
of
buy
that.
another house. Oh, yeah, we can.
Okay,
Maybe that happens.
Well, fair enough.
well then it's
I need me one of those.
It's interesting that you said Joker.
Yes.
How about you go and buy yourself one? How about that? So it's interesting you said that it's a she, because is that then, taking us on to our next point, is that an issue then if the woman gets paid more than the man?
In our experience, no. It doesn't. It just doesn't matter. But we are in the same way as you guys, very much like it's that the money that comes in, whether it's via myself or Jonathan, it's in our household.
It's our money.
It's
isn't it?
ours, and we get things done together.
Let's be real. For people out there, there are people like that do have an issue with their partner making more than them. Well, in this based on this question, the woman in the relationship earning more than them. What advice would you give? Is there any advice you can give?
I think I'd just try and push the fact that the earning doesn't make you less of a man. because I think that's what it comes down to a lot of the time. Is people feel like they're not man, like, especially men, don't feel like they're man enough. They're not the man of the house. They're not supporting their wife, and they're not there for her just because they're not earning. So I'd have to push the idea that, you know, that doesn't make you less of a man. There's a plethora of things that you can do in your household and towards your partner, which is what is expected of a man, and doesn't just come down to earning. Yeah, so I think that'd be my advice to that person.
I would just say, just chill, man. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you know.
Enjoy it.
It's true.
If your wife is making more money than you, enjoy it. Like, because there's some people who are breaking their back to graft because their wives may not be working at all, or, you know, there's no income coming in, or they can't get a job, or you know, they may be just choosing not to work, you know, and like we spoke about before, they just want to be homemakers, and they're at home working hard. Don't get it twisted. Just because you're at home don't mean you're not grafting. You're at home working hard to make sure that the home is a happy and safe place to be, you know.
It's a hard job.
It's a hard job.
Boy.
It's a very hard job. But then, if that's the case, you know, just chill in it. Like, relax and enjoy it. So do you think that Jonathan and Marcus should give us pocket money?
No.
Jonathan laughed.
I wouldn't want to keep up with all of that. I'll just put your allowance in the account. Oh, forget that. Nah.
Have you done your chores?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, please. No way. I can't even imagine giving my kids pocket money.
I think you're very much, if it's there and you need it, use it. That's Jonathan's.
Yeah. Well, I know people who their husbands give them pocket money. And they give them the money and say, well, I'm calling it pocket money. They don't say, here's your pocket money, honey. But like, they will give them an allowance, and they'll be like, right, each month, this is you, go and do whatever you want to do with this money.
And they're happy with it.
I love you, have this money. Like, you know, I love you money.
Yeah.
That sounds so bad.
But are those people who just, it's one person that works?
No, this is like, again, like I've said, you know, you may go out and buy Cherie some flowers, but instead of buying Cherie flowers, you save that money, you give her, you say, go and get something that you want.
Oh wow.
Or
okay, no, yeah.
It's well, just thinking about it, then it's good and bad, because is it a case of me as a guy then just can't be bothered to think, oh, what would she really like?
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? What would she really like?
Yeah.
Let me put some thought into my gift. So now I'll just give her the money, she can get what she wants.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the negative on that side, but then again on the positive, I was thinking, well, yeah. Because I guess for me, I don't see it as pocket money, but I would like to, or I like to once in a while, be able to just say, here you go. Here's some money. Get yourself something nice.
Go and get your nails done.
Yeah.
And Marcus buys me trainers. He goes, here you go, here's some trainers. Oh, well, thanks. That's nice.
But yeah, just being able to just give a gift sometimes, to say go and spoil yourself, I think is nice, rather than it just be, oh well, you know the money's in the account, go and do what you want with it.
So
it makes me feel nice that I can give you a gift sometimes, as a positive.
So then what you're saying is that the gift is actually a gift. You would rather give an actual gift than giving the money as a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it shows I've put
Because
some
the
thought.
Yeah.
Into it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think I would prefer the gift.
Me too.
One, because I just can't be bothered to walk up and down and find something.
No, Cherie.
No, but like, unless there's something.
real?
No, seriously, unless there's something that you really want, like I really need this thing, and you've been thinking about it for a while. Sometimes, if someone's like, "Oh, here you go," like think about it when it's your birthday and your grandparents and everybody else gives you money, and 2 days later they're asking you what you got. You know, I'd rather. If you thought of something that you think I'll like, he'll always get it right. He'll always buy something that I appreciate and I love and I'm happy with. So if he gave me money, I'd probably be sitting there for a while thinking to buy something just because, rather than something that I wanted. And then you end up buying foolishness, isn't it?
What about you guys?
Here for the gift.
I'm here for the gift. Cherie's here for the gift. What about you two?
A bit of both.
Like,
really.
are we here for the gift?
Or do you want
Yeah,
pocket
or do you want money?
I like the I like the gifts. Like I've never had an issue with any of the gifts, but you know, sometimes I just want a new gi in it. So
Listen, have you seen how much these geese are?
Just give me
What
the
is
money.
a gi?
Yeah, please tell the listeners what a gi is. Those who don't know.
It's a
Including me.
it's what you wear for
Kimono, a martial
kimono.
arts
What you wear.
kimono.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Martial arts suit.
Okay. Okay.
And they're not cheap, so that's why he wants the money.
Fair enough. fair enough.
But the way I look at that is, you know what the gift is, so you're giving them money towards that gift.
Yeah.
So it's still a gift, is how I'm looking at it in that sense. So I think I'm very much the same. I don't mind a gift, but if Dion knew that I wanted, I don't know,
Something in
PS5 for instance, then she might want to give me some money towards that.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact she will never buy me that.
That's
Because she doesn't
right.
want me to have that.
That's right.
So, you know, stuff like that, those sort of things, it's still a nice gift towards that. So yeah, I think we're on the same. I think we're all on the same train of thought.
Life Radio.
You're with the Can We Just Talk team on Life Radio UK. My name's Dion, and today's topic is more money, more problems. Do you think we should ask permission before we make a big purchase? Do you think it's something that we should say in our relationship, in our marriage? If I've decided that I would like to buy, say for example, a watch, an Apple Watch or something like
Yeah.
this, and it's gonna cost me £300 or something.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that you should discuss and you should say, or like this, for example, like my computer? Before I bought this, I was like, "What do you think, Marcus? Do you think I should do it? Is
Yeah.
it too much? Maybe it isn't too much. What do you think?"
Yeah.
Marcus is like, "Just buy the thing. Just buy it, please. Just buy it." Do you think it's something that you should talk about?
But I don't think you discussed it as to ask for permission.
No.
You discussed it because you're making a financial decision, and you think it's just, do you want to talk to your partner? Do you think
It's
I
like a
should?
courtity
Do you think I shouldn't? What do you think?
But then
just taking their
that is
opinion.
you discussing it.
Yeah,
because otherwise
You're
it
not-
could
we're not
just
asking
be,
for permission.
"I've bought this today."
I think the way I'm looking at it is, I agree that it's not necessarily asking permission, but then I kind of feel like it is. I know that doesn't make any
Elaborate,
sense.
Elsa,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
elaborate.
I know that doesn't make any sense, but I guess what I'm
think
trying
I
to
get
say
what
is,
you're saying.
so we're having a conversation and you're about to spend a lot of money on something. So therefore you said, okay, well, I like this and I want to spend this money on it. It costs this much and it's a lot of money, and I know it's a lot of money. What do you think about...
So that's their opportunity to say
Yeah,
no, or to advise against.
yeah.
If they have
now,
a point.
now, why I'm saying it's a permission and not permission is, the not permission is, I'm not going to say to you, no, you shouldn't buy it because it's this much money. And then the permission side of it is, I might say to you, don't buy it because it's this much money, and next week you're going to have to pay half of that money, or we could use that money next week because we have
Yes.
the roof is falling down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more of a case of we're having a discussion so that you make a sensible decision
Yeah.
in that moment. So it might even come, so the decision might even be, don't spend it this month, spend it next month after we've done resolve that big issue.
And I think that's the reason why you do talk about it, because sometimes with me, especially, like I'm very focused on, this is what I want, this is what I want to get, I've got to get this, and then sometimes I need someone to say, yeah, get it, but then don't forget this, and I'll be like, oh yeah, let me do those things first, and then I'll get that at a later time. Or don't forget, you have to do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I talk to Sri about big purchases, I'm not asking permission. I don't think Sri asked me for permission. It's just a different insight into whether or not now is the appropriate time to spend that money.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
think
you might be
Shri's gonna-
thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is there a cut-off point?
She can spend up to £300 without telling me.
Without telling you.
Anything over that, you need to ask.
Yeah, is there something like that, or is that just?
I don't think there's like a written rule. I think you just have to be sensible though. Like when I was buying my AirPods, I spoke to Jonathan about it, and that's not hundreds and hundreds, is it? I was like, oh, do you think I should? Do you think it's worth it? I think certain things, it's courtesy, isn't it? Just to mention. Yeah, we don't like have a hard fast rule. Like this is the once you know if it's £51.25, then you need to talk to me because the limit's 50. Like,
But I guess it's those big things in it, like you said, a car, thousands of pounds, a house, thousands of pounds, all those massive purchases. I think
do you guys
you
have
can't
like
just
a
go
limit
into that by
where
yourself. Nah. You're here with the Can We Just Talk team on Life Radio UK. I'm Marcus, and today's topic we've been discussing more money, more problems. So we've been talking about money and purchases and credit cards. So now we're looking at how do we go about saving for a rainy day.
my mum always taught me, always put something down, no matter how big or small the something is. Obviously your financial situation will change, you know, from when we first got together to whatever we are now, and there are rainy days. Like, please, nobody be under the misconception that everything's going to be fine and planned for the whole way through, because it just isn't.
And
And it normally comes like a snowball effect.
And even listen, even the richest people out there, there are rainy days for them, because
Yeah,
even
there's always rainy days.
losing a lot of money can be a big thing to the richest people out there. So
It does surprise me sometimes the amount of people that think that rainy days aren't a thing. I don't get that, because yes, you might go through, I don't know, say 3-4 months everything's going smooth sailing, or you might just find you've got like a whole year where everything's smooth sailing. But what are you going to do if you get to a situation where that changes? And I think for us, the fact that we have that transparency and we support each other, and we don't have that, oh well, this is mine, you know, we can kind of come together and figure out a situation together, as opposed to one person feeling like they have to deal with the situation on their own. Do you know what I mean?
Controversial question.
Oh, go on.
go ahead.
So if your partner had savings before you do, no, not before you do, before you got together, should I say?
Okay.
So let's clarify that. If your partner had savings before you got together, should he or she share those savings with you?
Yeah.
Now, you haven't saved that together.
No, yeah, definitely. So if he hasn't contributed some of it to the wedding, then he needs to contribute, or she needs to contribute some of that to the house.
But what if it's not for you?
But we're together now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're together now,
Yeah.
and that's it. And that's it. That includes everything. So when you're dead, when you pass, and you leave your wife or your husband, that money.
Sorry, what was that? Creole? Patois?
No, it's okay. I agree 100% with Jonathan, because
I was about to say but, because I was about to ask you to show me what's going on.
I don't see how you can enter into your relationship and have, you know, your own expectations of this person with your little change in the back. I don't understand that.
What's it for?
Yeah, like why
Okay,
are you
so,
what
say for
are you
example-
holding it for?
Say, for example,
Get out close.
That's what I mean.
Say, for example, you've lost a parent, or you've lost
Like a relative.
relative,
Yeah.
and the relative has said that they've left you some money aside for you, and then you then decide, well, you're not going to spend it on you, you're going to spend it on the both of you,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, something happens and you have a breakup or something, like, and you are now vexed with this person. Do you then start to say, well, I want you to give me back the contribution that my nan left for me, because, you know, I don't know, does it get messy, or
I
is
think
it just...
you're well within your rights to, but
Yeah.
I
don't think you should.
Why are you within your rights if you've decided that you're going to share that?
Yeah, but see, this is where the whole conversation comes into play. So let's just put me and you in that situation. I've saved up £5,000, and then we got married. You know, and we have the conversation that, look, let's base it on your explanation. So I was given £5,000 as a part of a will. We've got married now, and we've had a conversation to say, well, look, I was given £5,000, so that can contribute to something in the future potentially. But I'm not. It's staying in its own account, not being touched.
Yeah.
Not being touched. And then we break up or whatever may happen. I think I'm well within my rights to walk off with the money that was given to me in my will.
But then I would feel that I'm not saying that this is my opinion.
No,
I'm
yeah, we're
saying,
just, yeah.
Then I don't understand why I shouldn't be able to walk away with the money that you shared.
But I haven't
It's just
shared
like,
it yet.
okay, so let's put it into another situation now then. So say, for example, we are now, I don't know, my grandmother had left me some huge house with land and whatever. A barn and some little chickens clucking around the place, and you know,
dream, mate.
you know, right? And that is what has been left for me. You have now come into my life, and we are now sharing this this amazing lifestyle that my grandmother left for me, but I have invited you in.
Yeah.
We now decide that, you know what, it's not working out. And again, we absolutely, as Can We Just Talk, we promote marriage 100%. Stay in, please. Try your best, work it out, have counselling. But say it comes to that point where you have to have a divorce and you separate, unfortunately. And then you want half of what my grandmother left for me.
Well, with him, alright, yeah.
But why? If you contributed to the house...
Because we got married.
No, maintenance. Okay, so maintenance. If you contributed to the house and you bought things, then take the things. You can have that. You know, the things that you put in. If you bought a sofa and you put it in, take the sofa.
What about the time I took to fix the roof and to fix the barn?
And paint the
And
walls.
to feed the chickens and paint the walls.
See,
take
this
out
is
the
where
bins.
it gets messy.
Okay, guys. Well, that's all for now. So you've been listening to an episode of Can We Just Talk? But before we go, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Can We Just Talk 20.